I prepared some slides that I'm going to share on my screen. So we're going to start with the same kind of topic that we have been discussing together in the one-on-ones. And the first thing is that social sensitivity is as an important component on the success of a team as the skill of the participants themselves. And this is very important that we want to emphasize again. And this is not just beautiful words, and what I'm going to tell you in these slides is not just beautiful words, is actually a critical aspect of our success. So we should not be blind to our differences, okay? Diversity is not about being blind to the differences between people. It is about seeing them as strengths, okay? And so this is one of the very important things that we want to emphasize. Each one of us is a completely different individual, and we are actually, this is the most diverse team I have ever been part of, not only in terms of skill sets, but also in terms of gender, in terms of race, in terms of countries, in terms of the background that each one of us brings to this. And this is our strength. But the only way of really fulfilling the potential of a diverse team like us is through communication. So to really unleash the potential that diversity brings to a team, we have to pay an overhead. There is an overhead, which is that we need to acknowledge the fact that all of us are socially very different, that have very different ways of communicating. This means both our body language and our intonations and the turns of phrases that we use. And what for one of us could be like a perfectly normal way of communicating, for the other person could be offensive. And so it's very important for us that we work to establish very effective channels of communication. And I want to talk about this concept that I was exposed to this year for the first time, that I think is a very powerful thing, which is the idea of the platinum rule. You may have heard the idea of the golden rule. The golden rule is to treat others as you would like to be treated. And this is the cornerstone of almost every single human. No one knows exactly when this was the first time that someone articulated this rule. And it's the cornerstone of almost every single human moral code. But the platinum rule is a little bit like if you ever had read Isaac Asimov's Foundation, where you have the laws of robotics, and eventually they come up with the idea of a zeroth law, something that is even above that. And it's this, that we need to treat others as they would like to be treated. So it is a very powerful idea, and it's a very powerful concept, because it acknowledges, it's around this idea of social sensitivity, right? It's the idea that we acknowledge that the other people that are part of our team may have needs and emotions that are different than ours, and that if we work together to understand each other and where we are as people and what we're feeling and we're going through, we're going to have a more effective team. All this, again, is not just us being nice to each other. It is really making our team the best it can possibly be, as a powerhouse, as a unit, as something that is bigger than any of us. And again, communication is key. So the only way that we will be able to understand how each one of us wants to be treated is to expressing how we want to be treated. And it is the only person that really knows what they're feeling and what they mean is us, each of us. When we say something, we mean something, and sometimes it may come across the wrong way. And we are going to have this problem because we're culturally diverse. And so it is very important for us to also, if there is something that is strange, that we ask each other to clarify, because what I understood, this is how we need to speak, right? What I understood or what I felt when you said this is this. And we need to give the other person the opportunity to clarify what they really meant with those things. And to understand that some things are actually not okay. We all have different sensibilities because we have gone through very different lives. And so it is actually to our best interest to be mindful of those. It's not restriction, it's not restrictive, it's what is going to allow us to really communicate and work together. The other thing is that the FDL will feel awkward. So, and this is you're going to feel awkward, and I have always been a firm believer that there is no growth without awkwardness. If you don't feel awkward, then you're all on your familiar grounds doing what you're best at, and there is no growth. There is simply no growth. If you have ever tried to learn how to dance, then you know that when you start dancing, it always feels awkward. Tansu has a child, so that's probably why he's not here today. But parenting is one of those super awkward situations. I was going to put.
I think Tansu is was on Google Meet or something. We just sent him an email saying we are on Zoom, so hopefully he's able to join us.
Okay. Anyway, I was going to take advantage of his new parenthood to bring this point forward. The first time that as a parent you change a diaper is one of the most awkward moments that you experience in your parenting experience. But after a month of parenting, you can change diapers with a hand tied to your back and you're blindfolded. You can change your diapers blindfolded. So, and if you think about one of the most awkward things that a human being can do is learn to talk or learn to walk. We don't remember that. But if you just look at a toddler walking, you can see how awkward the whole thing looks like. So embrace your awkwardness, right? We are going to put you into awkward situations. We're going to make you work on the things that you're an expert at. We are going to all present. Emmanuel, you mentioned that you were not an experienced public speaker. We had amazing speakers here, including Brett, for example. And we will all deliver our presentations together. The participants will deliver the presentations as a team. We will switch you each time that there is a presentation. We will start with our specialty. So Daniel probably will introduce the data, and Emmanuel will probably introduce the probabilistic programming framework and things like this. But in the second one, people are going to be switched around. So embrace it and understand that you're not alone on this. And there is a lot of expertise in this team that you can draw upon to become comfortable in those things that make you feel awkward. Of course, we're not asking you that you should brave awkwardness. There are awkward situations that are actually awkward for the wrong reasons. So if you feel awkward because there is a microaggression or something that just makes you feel uncomfortable, right? It's important to communicate. And the leadership team is here for you to help you go through this awkwardness in the most constructive way possible. So not only to empower you to embrace and help you walk through, for example, presentations, but also to help you navigate an awkward situation that is awkward for the wrong reasons. So, and then the FDL is a challenging program in what is already a very difficult time. All of us, the majority of us, are actually trapped outside their home countries. And some of us are in countries, our families are in countries which are, in this moment, some of the countries with the strongest impact for the pandemic. And there is also, some of our families are considering whether to risk their lives to the virus or stay home during social protests of social injustice. So, and there is of course parenthood, right? If any of you has ever had a child, you know that the first month is the most difficult month of your life for a long time. And it's so hard that it's almost, people have, studies have shown that parenting is as hard as a divorce. And so it is okay to feel overwhelmed by the outside situation, and it is okay to feel like you are not being distracted and not being like at peak efficiency, and it's okay to be sad, and it's okay to be angry, and it's okay to feel all these things. And we are a team where we can step in if you feel overwhelmed. So if you're struggling, let us know. Let the leadership team, our job as leadership team is to be cognizant of the challenges that you're going through as well as people. And we can manage and leverage resources, and we can step in and fill in for you if necessary. So yeah, remember then that communication is key. So the only way we can really do this is if you let us know. That's basically it. I don't know if any of you would like to add something, or we go into
every week like this.
Hmm?
Can we have slides like this every week for the report instead of?
Yeah, for sure. You know, this, I was thinking this morning that I hate when you share your screen that people don't see your face. And I thought, well, what if I just print them? So yeah, for sure. I mean, I think we can do things. In this time, this is a moment to be creative too, and experiment, and allow yourself to do things that you have never done, because the FDL is first and foremost an experiment, and so it is an experiment for everyone, including us. There are things that we're doing this year that we have never done before. So anyway, these kinds of things are, and having kind of fun, doing it in a playful way is very powerful.